Hey everyone, and welcome to Black Sewing Network Sunday service and our special. This is um, our Serger Shirt with bernette. My name is Julian of Julian Creates. I'm also joined by Shamir of Shim So Creative, as we will be making my latest pattern. This is my first indie pattern. This is called the Serger Shirt, a free pattern available on bernette.com that launched with the release of my machine here, the Bernette B68 Maker Edition. This has been in the works for about a year now. So literally, almost we had started having conversations almost a year to the day at last year's BU to launch it at this year's BU. So if you are in the chat or any place else, please definitely give us a wave, say hello, all that good stuff. Let me know where you're from, all that, and we will get started here. So again, just to kind of give you also a concept, here is the sizing of the shirt itself. So it goes from a 2 extra small all the way up to a 6X. So that is from a bust measurement of 33 to a bust measurement of 56. Waist measurement of 27 all the way up to a 51. It could be done both in wovens as well as in knits. Um, Now, I made this for this serger or this cover stitch machine. So I will be using strictly this for the entire completion of this shirt. Can you do this on a sewing machine? Of course you can. Um, hey, hello, my fellow Cincinnatian. Um, so yeah, you can definitely also do this on your regular sewing machine. And I think that's what Shamir is doing. She's using regular sewing machine and a serger, correct?
Yep.
All right. So we'll be able to see it both ways. I have three cameras going so that you can show you'll be able to see my machine that I'm using and see how I change it over because I'll be going from cover to serger and all that throughout the process. And I want to make sure that people can see that. So feel free to ask any questions, but I want Shamir to introduce herself and to tell us about the fabric she's using.
Hi, I'm Shamir, Shim So Creative, and I am using a number of fabrics. I'm using some remnants of like cotton poplins that I've used. Oh, I have some right here that I've used to make shirts and other things. So I have a light blue with a polka dot, a deeper blue with a white stripe, and a white with a blue stripe and somewhat of iridescence to it. White stripe in there that you can't really see on camera. So I'm super excited. I love that this pattern had like the kind of asymmetrical front. It kind of gave me like Asian vibes, inspiration. But I also love that it has lots of color blocking options. It makes it easy to hack. So
Definitely. And I like your fabric choice. I might end up having to steal that because I got a lot of different little scraps of shirting fabrics that I can use for this as
oh, it's
well.
perfect for that.
So what I'm using is so I decided I am making mine in the brand colors of Bernette. So I'm using this gray that I have in my stash. So here is a gray. Then I'm also using different purples. So I have this purple, but I'm also have like this purple as well. Then I'm also using I didn't have quite like the ocean blue, but I did have a pretty teal. So we're using teal and gold. So these are the new branding colors of Bernette. So as you can see with my machine, we have this pretty ocean blue. Um, oops, excuse me. But also all the other colors. So especially as new things are coming from Bernette, new boxes and everything like that, definitely be on the lookout. These colors will be kind of the look of Bernette going forward, which I'm super excited about. But the fabrics that I'm using, so all of the different little prints that I have here, these are all from Bennertech. So I got them while I was at BU. And this is from I think it's called The Other Worlds. I had to pull one of the newest worlds by Rob Appel. So these are his line of fabrics, and these came in fat quarters. And I'm like, what better way to use them but in a shirt that just required, like, I can do what I want with it. So we pulled all these fabrics as well. All right. So are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
Oh,
So the way that I like to, especially with using for a serger, there are order of operation changes a bit. Okay, so the way that I like to start with are my collar pieces. So I have one of my collar pieces that is interfaced, one that is not. I'm going to put them right sides together, and we are going to sew them along the top edge. And I'm going to do that with a single needle chain stitch or an endless bobbin straight stitch. I think we forget, especially if you have a combo machine with a chain stitch or that chain stitch feature, literally it gives you the option of not having to worry about winding a bobbin. It's a straight stitch that you can easily take out if you need to, or you can lock. And especially if you're doing a lot of basting of projects and different things like that, using a combo machine for those projects with a larger stitch length is a great option. Something to think about that we probably never do. And instead of like, we be going through bobbins, literally think of all the thread that's on your serger spool. So this is what we like to call now the endless bobbin straight stitch. Okay. So I have my machine already set up for the single needle chain stitch. I have my needle in the right position here. I also am using my seam guide, which came the new Maker Edition. Let's make sure that y'all can get a full chance. And I'm using my extension table as well as my cover stitch insert that is for the extension table to give me a lot of space. There's also a shorter insert that goes just with the size of the machine, but I like to make sure I may have full use of the table. So
Do
I
you
have
mind
my
the
oh,
size
go ahead.
chart off? I think the size.
Say that again.
Do you mind taking the size chart off
Sure.
so I can see?
Yeah.
I mean, are we done with that one? There you
Yeah.
go. So
We're
I
done
can
with
see bigger. Okay.
it. Yeah. Cool. And I will put it this way. And let me see. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Ooh.
So that you can see the full machine. Y'all know who I look like. She said I had the pattern taped up, but then I got lazy. I'll make it later for the hubs. And that's fine. Or you can make it for yourself too. That's fine too. That's fine too.
It
Or
seems
even
like it's
take
gonna.
elements. It goes together, in my opinion, it goes together really fast. And I'm not just saying that as a person who puts together shirts all the time. For
Now
me,
I
it
am
goes
doing
together.
a little bit of a hack. So I have a question before I stitch.
Yes.
I'm doing a collar. So I want to
Yes.
make sure the curved edge is the bottom, is the part that attaches to the shirt.
So yeah, the curved edge is the part that attaches to the shirt. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm stitching my collar to the top
Yeah.
part. Okay.
Correct. So that so it should look like a smile, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I have it all set up and I have it kind of guiding against my seam guide. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, everyone that's joining us. Thank you so much for coming. What I like about this machine, even though it is compared to especially a lot of your 1034Ds and stuff like that, this definitely is a quieter machine to me. And if y'all know me, I've used a lot of sergers and different things like that. And I find that this one gives me just what I need at a price that I think is obtainable by a lot more people, especially who are looking for a machine that also offers like air thread. This is a great option for everything that you need. It is not it's not like computerized like the L890s and different things like that, but it's one of those machines that just works well. So here we go. So here is the front of my stitching. I think you can see that. Beautiful regular straight stitch with a chain on the back. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my iron. I'm going to give this a press, pressing my seams open. Okay. And then I will focus on changing the machine over. So how was your week, Ms. Shamir? Oh, I guess she went to go iron too. And how was your week? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm on mute.
Oh.
I'm just over here talking. I was saying that I had a good week, and I really enjoyed like having an extra day. It's really nice. Uh,
Sadly, I didn't get to enjoy it
why?
because I had been basically in bed sick since I came back from Utah, like a sinus infection or something. It's not COVID. We know that much.
Thank
But
goodness.
like my voice was gone, cough, mucus up in the chest, all that just stuff.
Oh, but you're feeling better now. Glad you're feeling better now.
All right. So I have this all, hey everyone. I have it all pressed and everything is pressed open. And for right now, actually, there we go. I can show you here. So it's pressed open. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now put this to the side so that I can change over my machine. Okay. One of the great things again about having a a machine that has a combo stitch is that, or a combo machine is that you have the option of a combo stitch. So that means that it has the functionality of like your regular um, serger as well as a cover stitch together. So it is kind of finishing off your edges with an overlock stitch as well as providing a good straight stitch similar to the unlimited bobbin chain. So what I went ahead and did was just change my cover here. We're going to put this back into in. So when you are in cover mode, you have it as rolled hem. So that is taking away that little knife. So I put that back in. I can turn back on my knife. And my knife, what happens is because this is not like a swing, like a push button knife turn off, it is like you pull out and you pull up and it's like a little knob here for that. Okay, so we did that. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to move my upper looper up into position. So now we'll see my upper looper is now in place as well. And then we are going to go ahead and engage my um, my nozzle for my threads. So we're going to do this again. And now I can go ahead and air thread my machine. So now what we're going to do is, and I like to just go ahead and cut off all threads except for my chain thread. So my dark blue thread at the end, I do not have to change. So as y'all can see what I'm talking about. So I have a dark blue thread, like two blues, stuff like that. I also have a white thread that I might use, or I have another, I might have to go get a thread, but we will figure out what thread I want to get in a second. So, but right now, we're going to go ahead and put this one in. So this is going to be for my upper looper, or no, this is for my lower looper. So we take our thread, we put it from red to red, and there is like a little spout here. And if you just kind of push it through, you can keep on going. And then
That is quick.
thread comes out like that. Then for the next one, we'll do my other looper like this so that y'all can fully see it. There we go. Down through here. That threads that. So now all I have to worry about are my needles. Literally, the under part of your machine is threaded, which is great. So now, which combo do I want to use? So a lot of times, what I like to use is um, my left needle, and so my left needle is by my left overlock, and then my center chain. Or I can use my right needle center chain. We'll do right needle center chain maybe today. Hmm. We'll do right needle center chain. And then one of the tools that comes with the machine, of course, is your little, this is for your needles. And there are like a little hex screws. You don't want to lose those because they are like headless, but just a little hex that you put through to do that. And then there is a space back here for you to keep your needles. But I also have my serger on a foam mat. So I just use my foam mat as where I keep all of my needles as I use them. As I take them out and put them in. There we go. Okay. So now we have our needles in. I need to turn off my chain there and put back on my cutter. And now we can work on threading our needles. So let me get one more thread here. What color? I literally just saw. I'm gonna be bold because so that everybody can see some of the different workings, we're gonna use an orange.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else sewing along in the audience?
I know Sabs was, I saw her cutting out her pattern and understand that. So currently the pattern is available in, I think it's A0, not A0, letter A4. I will be putting the projector file up on my website probably in the next few days. But we do have a projector file for it as well. So for those who are waiting for that, that will be available. All of the sizing guides are also available on the actual files themselves. So, all right. So I want to, and what's great also too is that it comes with a little chart here so that you can see how to make sure you have everything threaded. And even though I've been using this machine for a while, I like to just keep it handy right near my machine. So I have a little board here and I have it literally just pasted here. So for quick looking and stuff like that. So it's right near my eyes. So we went with right needle center chain. So this is 3.5. This is 4.5. This is 4, 4, and 4. Okay. What's also great is, oh, come on, Eve. She's cutting the pattern. Okay.
Oh, yay.
So what's also great about these machines as well is that literally you can thread, there's no order that you have to thread them in. So you can literally go for what works best for you. Make sure I have my needles right. Yep, okay, cool. So a lot of times, yes, you could definitely use your B48 for this as well. It might, the feet that you might use might be a bit different because the feet that I'm going to be talking about, one of the other foot is the clear cover foot. But as long as you can do cover stitch, you can use it. And there is a box of accessories that come for this machine as well as works for the B48. So definitely check with your dealer for some of the other feet and accessories that come with are available for your machine. So what type of serger do you use again?
For me?
Yeah.
I use a very entry level machine.
Look, it worked. That's a good place to start, as long as it works. But do you use it for all the ways that you can use a serger or a cover stitch?
No, it is very underutilized. I want to learn how to do like rolled hems on it, and I have tried to gather with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very underutilized. This one.
So especially now, like since using these machines and stuff like that, I use it for a bit of everything. including I make bags on it, install zippers and zipper tape, um, do different things like this. So there's so many different piping. There's so many different ways, even beading, that you can use a serger in different feet for. Elasticators to attach elastic or do like especially for underwear and different things like that. There's so many different ways that you can use these machines that we don't always think about.
Right.
That I think we need to more often.
Agreed. Agreed. I
So now
definitely
what
need
I'm going to do
to figure
is
out more ways to use it. I can't see all the comments. Is it because I'm not on all the platforms?
so I can see the YouTube and the Twitch,
Oh,
and I'm only seeing, but I don't know what TikTok look like.
okay. I'm gonna go to TikTok and see if I can see it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. So one of the other things, so we have a whole set of feet and stuff that comes with this. One of my favorite things, of course, are your seam guides. A lot of people are always scared of how, like, how everything looks like for their, like making sure that they are getting their, there you go, there you go. I'm over here now. How are you able to get your like perfect seam allowance and different things like that? This is what helps. Making sure that you have your seam guide that comes with this machine that will be available for purchase, so that you can easily like guide your fabric up to your project. So especially as you have this, it really once you have start using a seam guide, especially in garment making, you stop only using your serger for finishing of hems or just for knits that have a seam that you can futz with a bit, and you start to think like, oh, I can be more precise with it because I know I have proper seam allowances. For a while there, that was the thing I was most worried about, is that I'm gonna jack up a seam allowance and I ain't gonna be able to fit nothing.
A lot of beginners have that issue too. I know on mine it does have like some guides, but it's still not like foolproof in terms of being consistent, especially if you have a piece of fabric, a big. I did make this shirt on a serger. All right.
Look at that. What's funny
Okay.
is, so I
Right
wore
now,
this shirt. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what are you sewing right now?
So I just was testing out my combo stitch so that you can see that here, making
Nice.
sure that look good so that I can now start putting together my back and back yoke.
Back and back yoke. Okay.
Yep.
I'll get that.
And the reason I'm wearing this shirt today because I wanted to show off my new tattoo.
Oh, I saw you was getting it, but I didn't see the tattoo. Hold
So yeah, it is basically I got Maker from the machine on my arm as a commemorative tattoo.
on. Oh, that's cool. Did it hurt?
No, not
Uh,
really.
I've never had gotten a tattoo.
This was real quick and easy, but now it's like I think every time I'm about to get another one to commemorate the L860 because I never got a tattoo for that one. Um, but yeah, this is my sewing area, so I'm probably going to get a serger spool over here in red, um, with L860 underneath that. So that is the plan. Okay. So with your back piece, there are two notches here. That is for you to make a pleat. So that is kind of like a regular men's shirt so that you can have a little bit of room to breathe and everything like that. So I went ahead and folded and pressed my pleat in. Okay. Then I take my back yoke, and there are notches here, and those should match up to where your notches kind of come together for your pleat. So the pleat should go towards the outside and not towards the inside. So out towards the outside on the front, and you're putting these together right sides together.
Oh,
Now,
both are. Okay.
because of using the serger for this shirt, that is the reason you only have one black back yoke. Because the way we put this together, um, everything will be finished and everything like that. And I want you to see the actual seams and stuff of the project. Now, if you're using a sewing machine or something like that, you definitely can go ahead and double your yokes and burrito them or sandwich them like you normally would. It's up to you.
Now you tell me. I'm just kidding.
I mean, but aren't you still gonna finish your seams?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they still gonna be good and pretty on the inside. I am a person I like to see, you know, if you got your tensions right and stuff in your serger, I think it's still a beautiful stitch. That's the reason sometimes I would use all rainbow colors or something like that. I think it's a beautiful, still a beautiful seam finish that people need to see. Some people find it not like a couture finish or something like that, but I'm like, I've seen the inside of couture garments. They don't look good either. So I'm gonna show the work that I put in. Okay. So now, sewing this still again with um, your seam allowance. And one of the things I've noticed, especially, so I use my seam guide a lot. So with that, sometimes this was one of the prototypes. So this is not the actual production, because again, I've had my machine a lot longer than everybody else before it was production model. But I ain't giving it up because it's mine. Know it. So sometimes I have to put a little piece of tape under mine just to hold it in place the way that I want it to hold. But on the new seam guides and stuff that have come out since mine, that has been taken care of. If you do find that yours get a little loose or anything like that, give it a little heat, like with a hair dryer or something like that, just to reshape it a bit and just bring it in just to make sure that it clamps in place and holds. But I think if your if your serger comes with a seam guide like this, make sure you're using it. Because I think if you're scared of your serger, a lot of times it's because you're worried about that, and it does take away a lot of the fear, in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna start putting this together again at 3/8 inch of seam allowance or 1 centimeter. Hey, y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Janine.
Of course, also this machine has knee lift. I am just sitting far away from the machine, so I'm not able to use the knee lift as easily as I normally would. But that is my normal way of holding my machine is through the knee lift. You also, if let's say that you are doing this and you feel that you want your thread loops to kind of loop over the fabric a bit more, this also has micro thread control. So this is your cutting width, but under here, there's a little lever with a plus and a minus. That is for your micro thread control. So this is just an extra level of like tension almost beyond just your tension disc up here that you can better control how the stitch looks. So if you want less thread, you kind of put it towards a minus. If you want more thread, you put it towards a plus. So my favorite part of creating the machine, probably, of course, giving my wish list. So what people don't know is that um so this of course is a machine that's already been on the market. So a lot of the hardware and stuff does not change. The color changed, and then we added to it with the accessories and the vacuum. Things that I said like, hey, this really does help make using the machines easier. The vacuum machine is something that I asked for because I'm like, this will make it like people love this. We always need them to clean our machines. I buy them. I'd rather have one that matches my machine in the box. I think it's just a good thing to have from the beginning. Choosing the feet to kind of like they gave me the list of feet that I can choose, and out of the different sets that are available, and I started to pick like which ones would I use the most. So making sure there was a piping foot, the clear covered foot, elasticators, and like the hemmers and stuff like that. That helps just make the process easier as you are working and making. And these are just a basic thing that you can use to start making fun things with your machine, including like the blind hem foot and stuff like that. There's so many different things that you can do if you have those. So able to give that wish list. And what people don't know is that, especially like in my group, so Manly and other places, I asked before I start, like, so that it just wasn't me. So y'all also have input in this if y'all did not know.
A little market research.
I think I want one, but I want another embroidery machine too. Look, look, treat yourself. Your birthday was just here. Treat yourself. All
Get
right.
all the machines.
Okay, so this is what my back is looking like before I go ahead and press it. And as we can see here, we have a nice combo stitch. What I love about a combo stitch here, of course, is that one of the great things is that I can use this for a lot of my woven shirts. So a lot of the shirts and stuff that you see me wearing have been made on this machine. All of the, like my side seams, the way I insert my sleeves and stuff like that are usually done on this.
So can
Because
you do your placket with that?
you could do your placket if you're using like a single chain. So if you want to do a single needle chain, you can definitely install your placket. You could do a lot of things. Like you almost basically could do a full shirt on this if you wanted to. Sometimes it might be easier to use a sewing machine because I mean, this does not replace a sewing machine, but it does. Usually, sometimes, especially modern sewing machines, this is faster. So if you are looking for that speed and different things like that, without having to worry about running through thread or running out of thread, sometimes this is easier to use. So I'm going to press this. All right. So we have this pressed, and I have my seam allowances pressed up. Now, if you are doing this kind of like with a regular sewing machine or something like that, you can do this. You can press them up or down as you want to. I liked it pressed up. I think it just gives it a cleaner for me. So definitely, I do have a demystifying Serger class in the works. It should be coming soon within the next, probably by fall. You'll definitely have a class, an online class, as well as I'm definitely expect to see me at more stores coming up in the near future, as I will be going on the road to do some more teaching and stuff around this new machine. So we about to be busy.
Yes. Okay. Here's my back.
Okay, very cute, very cute. So now what you do is we're going to start attaching our front yokes. Okay. No, that's not my piece. Where's my piece? Here it is. So we do those right sides together at the shoulders. And what's great about this shirt is that so there is that seaming that should come under the bust because I wanted to make sure that it did not get caught with the with like you having to change the armhole or something like that if everything don't line up. So I made sure that that seam falls under the bust. But let's say that you needed to do some type of bust adjustment or anything like that, it should make it easier on that front yoke piece because essentially you could make darts there and just kind of take a chunk out and lift up the bottom to give you more shaping if needed. Something to think about. What's great is that as you if you've watched the video, which is available on bernette.com, this shirt has been made in a variety of different ways into dresses and different things like that. It's really up to you. And I want people to understand that like once the pattern is in your hands, You are the maker. You are the maker. This is not going to be making a carbon copy of something somebody else made. Once it's in your hands, you're the designer. And I want you to have fun with it. This is a blank canvas type of project because essentially you could do so many different designs. You could do cover stitching with decorative threads and different things on the front to give you some different interests, similar to what I did back here, where I used the different cover stitch for different interests, or in the original, where I did it kind of more as a patchwork style. But this patchwork, some of it is done through regular like piecing on the serger. Other parts are actually still done with cover stitch. So many different ways that you can try different techniques with your serger. All right, so I have my pieces kind of pinned together or clipped, whatever works best for you, at the shoulder seams. And I like to put them in from the outside towards the neck, and sew those in place. And I'm still using my combo stitch. And as you can see, my pins are usually normally pinned way far away from my knives and my needles. So I pin way far in so that I'm not causing any problems. And then the same on the other side. So to do that, basically, I kind of flip the shirt so I can do the other side. Hey, hey. And because I'm not like fully locking these, I can go ahead and tie them off. Hey, Veronica, hope you're feeling well as you are in your process of recovery.
Hey, Ronnie.
Excuse me.
You said
So
outside.
we have all of that done. And now I'm going to go take this over. And her machine sounds a lot louder than mine.
The shade.
But look, we try to work it out. We try to work it out. Get her into a B68 maker. That's what we're working on. All right. So now what I'm about to do is take this over to the iron, press my seam allowances towards the back.
Me too. Now, I saw in some of the versions you guys did the decorative or the top stitches on top. Are you planning to do that for this one?
So because I'm using kind of fun fabrics, I'm not planning to do that for this one. Normally, if I were going to do something like the decorative stitching, I would do that before I cut the cut my front yokes, similar to this one. So I kind of like rough cut it, then I go ahead and make my stitching just in case I want to do any type of pleating or any type of little details that can shrink the fabric before I cut to my final size. But this time this was fun fabric, so I just said we're just gonna use the fun fabric. All right. So we have kind of half the body of a shirt. So now what I'm about to do is I'm about to change my machine back over to a single needle unlimited bobbin chain, and we are now going to attach our collar. Okay. So again, what I have to do is I'm going to remove my bin, drop this down. See all of that? So I pull out my table. We're going to replace my table here. Nope, that this way. Okay. So now what I can go ahead and do is I can go ahead and cut my everything but my chain loopers. So put my thread out this way like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to roll until my upper looper is in this lower position, similar to this. I'm then going to take it and move that to lock my looper in place. Put some of this away. Then we're going to bring it back up again. So now my needles are at the high position. We're going to take this and put this into roll, and we're going to move my knife down. And my machine is now ready for cover. Simple as that.
That was quick. We love it.
Mm-hmm. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to just change my needles again. Like literally I think a lot of people do not change their machines over because they feel that it takes so long or it's so hard when really it's not. And so the way that the shirt comes together, I wanted to make sure that people get a chance to practice putting your machine between like cover and regular stitch. It's really important that you're able to like understand how your machine goes together, how your machine works. And by doing all these different tests and processes in the process, you get used to it so that you can easily go back and forth without problem. Because as you can see, this doesn't take much, like more than a minute or two, honestly.
No excuses.
We're at 4. This is at 0. This is 6. Okay. Now we're about to go back.
Nisha, we are working on the Serger shirt. It is a pattern that Julian creates. Just designed. It's his first indie pattern. You can find it on you have to go to the video, don't you, to get the.
So no, you can go to bernette.com. So if you go
Oh,
to bernette.com and go to the bottom of the B68 maker page, and you'll find it there. Hey, welcome in, everyone. Welcome.
have it. It's a free pattern.
Free pattern that is also, I think, pretty size inclusive. Hopefully, I definitely will work on adding more sizes because this will not be my only indie. Definitely expect to see more indies from me. Probably give me some time, but also more classes and more indies from me with the launch of this machine. That's just kind of as a way to kick off a new era.
A new era.
But also, we'll still be doing Nomi patterns as well. So.
He said he get in the bag wherever he can. Okay.
Look, the bills got to get paid.
The bills gotta get paid. Right.
Plus, I now got to buy supply so I can make my new Birkin. Because,
So you use it as like pattern pieces.
well, I bought the pattern. I ain't even gonna do that. I'm just gonna hold it and then make one that looks better so I can put them side by side and say, look how I can do better than that. That's what I'm gonna do.
Touche.
I was pissed. I was pissed. That bag is boneless. That's worse than some boneless wings. It was giving chicken tender.
Not chicken tenders.
Just say it. I was pissed.
Now, when
it was
you
supposed to be purple ombre, and it wasn't.
It was no ombre. That's for sure.
No. Okay.
So when you're attaching your collar, do you do? Well, actually, I've seen people do it different ways. So for you, do you attach the inside of the collar stand or the outside, or are you doing it all in one go?
No, so I'm attaching the outside. So the interface edge of the like interface side of the collar should
Okay.
be right sides with the collar. So we're kind of it should we're just putting the outside edge on first, then we'll
Okay.
install the zipper, and then we'll finish the collar.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pinning mine.
And the way that I found to pin this, and I try to make it as easy as possible, pin the edges. So the edges should line up with the edges of your front yokes.
Okay.
And then you gotta go from the inside. So yeah, you go to bernette.com and the pattern is available there for free, but it's also on Black Sewing Networks. It's in the calendar, it's in the link, it's on my page. We have it a little bit everywhere. So definitely go and check that out. You can where you can find the pattern and it is free.
And if you send me a DM, I will send it to you. I will send you
Or,
the link.
or child send it, or you can send it to me, or if you need the projector file before I load it, I can also send me a DM because I also have the projector.
And this actually went together pretty quickly. I liked how the colors overlapped. So I actually didn't have to do any cutting. So
Oh, good.
for those of you that
Perfect.
hate putting together PDFs, the way this design is that you don't actually have to do any cutting. You can just tape or glue, however you decide to attach it together.
So definitely want to thank my editor of my patterns, which was Veronica, who, of course, if you did not know, is also was a Nomi pattern designer, but is a designer when made for mermaids, who really helped to make sure that we got to a final product ready to post and everything like that. So again, thank you so much, Veronica, for all your work that you did in making sure that this worked out well. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to put together. So because you didn't have to do all the extra taping, the extra cutting, it actually went together really fast.
All right. So now, should come up
Okay,
here, knocking this out a bit.
good. All right.
What? There
I'm just gonna serge it on because that's what we're doing.
we go. I mean, go for it. Have fun. If you want to surge it on, go
Okay.
for it.
I don't know. That doesn't sound too confident.
I
JK.
mean, but here's my thing. Like, you can definitely surge it on unless you like. Are you planning to? It's almost surging it on almost adds more bulk. It almost is easier to sew it on in your case.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead and sew it on.
Yeah,
Because
especially since
like,
the invisible zipper is already gonna be a headache.
yeah.
So yeah.
And y'all, just for sound comparison, I'm using mine's. Remember what her sounded like when she was using hers. So definitely, these machines are now available in your stores now. So this is definitely something to go and check out at your local Bernina dealer. Um, if they do not have it, ask them about it. And this is not just available here in America. This is available for worldwide release. I did a live launching this in Portugal. We've been talking with people. I've seen the ads for it in Thailand. Um, it will be available such as in Canada, in France, um, of course, like the UK and different things like that. So super excited for all the different places that people will have a chance to really explore and have fun with this machine.
I want to wind the box.
And MSRP wise, you're looking at less than 3,000 with all the accessories. So you're looking at around 28, 2,900 MSRP. But of course, there's always fun deals and different things like that available. And especially if you're in the market for a new machine, this was not the only machine that came out during BU. There is a new Yaya Han edition Bernette. That is the B. She did the 79 before. She now has a 38 that's available. So that will be a machine only. So that is if you are looking for just a fun kind of easy use. You can use it for cosplay type of thing machine. That will be for that. comes with a beautiful set of tools, knives, different things like that. Or yeah, not knives. What's the word I'm looking for? It is scissors. There we go, scissors. Scissors and seam ripper. Um, but then you also have the new 3 series. So that is a more portable Bernina machine. So that replaces the old like school level machines that they had. So this is the brand new 3 series for that line of machines. And then the 7 series all went pro. So that means there's now the 790 Pro, the 770 Pro, the 735 Pro, and the 700 Pro. So that means that those machines now have a lot of the same features as the Pro Series machines. So it's still 10 inches to the right of the needle, but it also now has the built-in needle threader by push of a button. So literally push a button and it threads your needle by itself. It also has like laser pinpoint placement and different things like that. So really neat. If you're interested in a machine, that is a perfect time to now really look at some of the machines that Bernina has to offer. Plus, there is a sweepstakes where you get a chance to go for a shopping spree in Paris.
Whoa.
So super fun. So, and I'm pressing my seam allowance down for this top piece. How are you liking your new place?
I love it. It's great. Great views. It's relatively quiet now. The pool be lit. They lit down at the pool. But otherwise, it's a quiet building.
Good.
Convenient. So I'm enjoying it. I'm still trying to decorate my space and stuff. That's slowly but surely coming along. All right, let me switch out my feet while you're doing that because I'm doing an invisible zipper. What do I do with the zipper?
All right.
Color.
So now
Yeah,
we have the start of our collar pieces and everything like that, and everything is still lined up. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do to prepare this to install my zipper, which we are putting on through the actual cover stitch, I'm going to go ahead and now press under my seam allowance of 1 centimeter on both sides. And that is all the way from the collar piece all the way down. Okay, so let me go ahead and press that in place.
fine. Where else would a zipper foot be? Where would you be?
I mean, I would hope it would be with all your other feet.
That's what I was hoping too.
I love that you hoping and not knowing, but I mean, you did move, so you got your excuse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I've done it a little bit. Here. I'm surprised it's not in here. Again. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. There we go.
I mean, I can't talk. That's one of the feet I lose the most, probably.
It was like tucked up in the corner, up under the button foot.
See. All right. So I have all of that all pressed in place. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my zipper. So I'm using just a regular nylon zipper, and I am using this is the color I had. So this is the color we're going to use. We're using yellow today.
Mhm.
Um, where is
Hey, Kate Bella.
so what I like to do is go ahead and make a quick. So I'm basically going to just trim right above the zipper stop, just on through the zipper tape, not all the way to, but just so that I can fold it down, similar to this.
Wait, you do your other side real close in the camera, in the big camera. Okay. So you put it to the side,
Mhm.
but you
Yeah,
cut
that's
some.
so. Yeah, so I put it to the side like this because basically this is going to go up underneath the collar, so this is going to get all covered in. So
Is
it
that
just
what?
basically gives me a finished edge. Let me do this, and then
Okay.
let me show you what it looks like when I put it in. Okay, so right here at the top, like that. We're gonna start putting in some pins so that you can see what this is giving. Of course, normally I am doing this flat, but right now it's going to be in my lap for just a second. All right. So yeah, this is what we're trying to get. So essentially, that folded edge will go up underneath, like where the collar seam is,
Hmm.
and then you'll start putting it in place so that you can then take it and cover stitch it down, bringing down the back collar over top of it. So all of this whole side will get finished in place, and then all we have to do is cover stitch to finish the collar inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought you cut something. That's why I was trying to figure out what you cut.
I just took a snip out of my, so like you're using a invisible zipper, so it's probably going to be a little bit different. I'm
Okay.
because I'm using a regular nylon zipper. Just the extra bit of zipper above the zipper stop where you start at, I just
Hmm.
fold it down to the side so that I can kind of catch that while I'm cover stitching everything else.
Okay. Do like this.
So that's one side. Now we're going to do the other side. And that folding is not mandatory. I just find that it makes it look prettier. It just gives like a good little finishing edge to it. Then we're going to change our stitch over to, I'm going to do a 3-thread cover. So I like to use a 3-thread cover for this because I feel that it gives you the most amount of coverage of the zipper tape and everything like that. And I find that that also allows for the like that inner edge of the fabric and everything to be finished nicely. And we are going to sew this from the bottom up. Now, normally I like to, if possible, I like to sew from the top down, so that anything that is like wiggly or woggly, you can work it out at the bottom. But I found that sometimes it's easier to manage trying to sew it from the bottom up, then the top down. So we're going to do that for ease of use. Now, color thread wise, what we're going to do, we're going to do orange in the middle. Pull out my needles. Get my other needles real quick. And as you can see, I'm using my hands here. I just find that I have more control doing it this way. But if you do not feel comfortable with this, the machine also comes with a needle holder and needle threader so that you do not have to do this by hand. You don't have to thread the needles by hand. It does come with a needle threader. I find I'm quicker doing it this way, just because that's what I'm used to. And one of the great parts of being a maker, you get to decide kind of what works best for you.
Amen.
This is six. This is six. That's four. That's it. Okay. As well. And once we get the zipper in, you'll find that how quickly this will come together. So, what are your sewing plans this week?
I need to make a pair of shorts for Cowboy Carter. So I need to do that. And then what's up in here? Finished my Vicky So's Lexi dress. I was waiting on the crinoline and realized I didn't order enough crinoline, so I'm just gonna go to the fabric store and buy it. I finished that. And and maybe work on some whips. A lot of whips around here.
Look, understand. I still working through my pile of stuff that I got from Switzerland, like Switzerland fabric and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have some other polos and stuff that I want to get done. Um, but honestly, I am ready to do some designing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna have some fun and do some more designing. Definitely some more Luderloh is coming in my future. Actually, I got to meet Ralph Luderloh this past while at BU. He was there. So hopefully we will have some collaborations coming in the near future.
Ooh.
So I'm able to teach people how to use a Luderloh system, especially focusing on menswear, using the Bernina and Bernette machines.
Yeah.
But yeah, but also designing my own stuff because that's what we do. All right. So one of the other things that I'm going to go ahead and do once I find what I did with my box, here it is. I'm going to change over my foot to my clear cover foot. So, and to change the foot, it literally just drops down. I kind of pull up my little spring here and I slide this one back into place. I just need to move that out of the way. There we go. This one's gonna come from here it is. No, it doesn't. Usually don't. Okay. There it is. Put my foot down right on Covers are set. We're going to test our cover real fast. And this is why I always keep a little bit of extra little fabric just so that we can make sure that our stitch is set the way we want it to before we get started. So that we get a chance to see it before you get too lost in the sauce. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah, we have a nice cover stitch here, which y'all can see. Cover here. All right. So now, I'll back you up just a bit so that y'all can see a little bit more of the machine. And for this piece, I don't really need to use, I don't need to use the guide because I'm going to run right along the edge from the bottom up. So literally, I like this foot because this foot is just a little bit thinner. So I can literally run it right along the edge of the zipper teeth, similar to how you would do like a regular, there we go. Come on. Regular thing. Now, as you're doing this, what you might find is that it starts to bunch or anything like that, or get a little rumple. So what I like to do is just kind of massage my hands as we're trying to kind of flex it to make sure that it lays correctly. Because remember, this edge is on a bias, so it might want to stretch a little bit. It might want to, get a little froggy, but jump right back at it. As we get all the way to the top edge. And once you get a little bit further, if it's helpful, go ahead and you can unzip it all the way down to the bottom. And I use an extra long zipper that allows for space. Like I know I'm not going to hit any like zipper edge or anything like that as I am putting in my zipper. So I use like a 14-inch zipper when really you only need like a 7 or 9, but it's just easier to do it with more. Hey, Court, how are you? Catching the underside of that. Nope. All the way up. Got one side done. Cut our tape. And pull it to the back. And that locks your stitches. I got thread caught all up in my watch. Lord Jesus. All right. First one done. First side done. What's great is, again, back is nice and clean. So now we're going to kind of close it back up, make sure everything is lining up. So what I'm seeing here, of course, I want to make sure that my bottom is lining up. And now what I can see is that my top does not quite line up, because of how everything kind of goes throughout the process. Things kind of come unaligned. So I repin it to make sure that that center seam kind of matches up at the end. So where like the neck edge, we don't want a wonky collar. So I want to pin that in place so that I can kind of work that off as a point of reference. And we are going to lay this along the other side of the clear foot and then go up the other side. For the people in the audience, what is the current serger or cover stitch do you have that you currently use? Do you like it? And when you are thinking of getting another one, what are you looking for? So Patrice, we are sewing the bernette Serger shirt. So this is a launch with the bernette b68 maker edition that I helped launch. So this is a pattern that I designed that is available on bernette.com. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's funny, as somebody called me, I am kind of like a sewing Harry Potter because in the sewing world, like, I literally took off work, my regular day job, to go and launch this machine in front of like over 1,000 people, like on main stage, doing all the big stuff, all that good stuff. Um, and was doing lives and stuff like that with international entities and launching it on main stages in other places. But then, like, in my real world, people don't quite understand, like, so you sew, what is this? Um, so it's very much like Harry Potter. Even though, yes, is what's her face trash? Yes, we know that. But still, the story has meaning. So what I'm seeing here is I got some thread stuck, but luckily I can see where it's stuck at. So I can go ahead in there and just kind of bring it out, but still finish my seam. And now, here we go. So here's my neck edge. I'm going to give a quick, we'll see what this gives before we continue to go. And literally, basically, within the hour, most of the shirt is put together. Think about it. There it is. So this is what my shirt is giving so far. Okay. Now, this. So now, what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that all of this is clear. I think I got a few threads underneath there. So just one moment. You know what I got to find? Got to find my vacuum. Here it is. So if you didn't know, this is one of the things that people are most excited about with this machine is this vacuum. It is rechargeable by USB-C. What's great, of course, is that you can easily empty it out. It's canister. It comes with different attachments. What's also great is that you can angle it as you need to use it, and it has a really nice amount of power and weight. So I can go ahead in here, give this a quick dusting. And keep moving. Free upgrade when I got a 790 Pro. I've taken classes, loved it. but haven't used it again because I'm basically a quilter with a lot of UFOs. But you can also use it in quilting. You can use I do quilts. I like so a lot of my pieces and stuff like that. I do on my Serger because technically, even with a 790 Pro, the speed per stitch, like per stitch, is faster on a Serger. I can just see a few extra little niblets of thread. There we go. Okay. But we love Illinois. Um, Definitely a place that is fun to go to. It's not that far from here in Cincinnati. So, all right. So now, while still threaded in my 3 thread, what I'm going to go ahead and do, making sure that my edge is all kind of folded up underneath there, we're going to go ahead and finish my neck edge. And usually I like to start about like right after my 3 thread for the actual zipper insertion ends. I like to start there just to make sure that I get a good bite to make sure I'm able to finish everything. So I'm going to back this up just a hair. My foot pedal keeps on wanting to run away from me. A piece of string, I mean, that's an occupational hazard, honey. But I do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cause child, I be finding this is why I usually, if I'm surging not on camera, my hair is covered because string ends up everywhere and lint ends up everywhere, especially in my hair. It's an occupational hazard of having locks.
Hey, Portia. Great.
Hey. All right. And we're going to pull this to the back. And cut this off. So now, basically, most of the shirt part is done. Now, there is like a little extra thread here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is like you can take some duckbill scissors or something like that and just trim it right up to your serged edge or to your cover stitch edge. And that's a good way to finish it. But now, essentially, the top parts of your shirt are done.
You would do that.
Uh-oh. Did it hit the zipper?
No, I hit the pins. That's why you shouldn't sew over your pins, guys, because you burn through needles.
No judgment.
I break a needle every project.
No judgment.
No
Excuse me.
judgment.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm just I was finishing my. Did I finish? I need a little.
So, yeah.
I need a stitch.
So this part is done. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to change my machine back over to combo, and I'm going to use combo basically for the rest of the project. And that is for the construction, adding sleeves, adding the front, doing the side seams. And then we can talk about hem finishings. But literally, it ain't even 4:30, and the shirt's almost done.
And that's unheard of for me.
And that is including changing the machine over between combo and cover stitch multiple times. So I think, especially for those who might be scared of really utilizing all the different ways that you can utilize your machine, definitely is not something to be scared of. You can have a lot of fun with it. So before I do that, let's go ahead and I want to bring up my looper. There we go. We're going to put that back into in. We're going to bring back up the knife. We're going to change my foot again. Go. Go. Then we're going to do one more rotation, do my loopers. So we have this one. There we go.
She gonna be cute. They're gonna be like, look at that girl with the collar on the side of her shirt. And do
Look, but that's fashion. That's
it
fashion.
is. I'm here.
Because you don't give me an idea, I might have to try that.
Do it.
Yeah. Now you tell me, do it.
Do it. Yes. Only thing is, I might go back and redo that, but not today. Okay. So what are we doing now? You're about to attach your bottom.
So yeah, we're gonna attach the bottom. We'll do the bottom, sleeves, and then sides.
Okay.
That's it.
Now my bottoms did not quite match up. Probably use your error.
So which bottom? Like your bottom front to your
Yeah, my
to your
bottom
pubic?
front. This one is like a little longer. I'm just gonna chop it off. It'll
Oh, yeah,
have enough seam allowance for this.
yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that sometimes happens if it does not like if you do not make sure that they line up, like start at the bottom, work your way at the top, and make sure everything lines up. And I try to make sure that they line up when I initially pin. So I initially pin at the bottom and
Oh,
initially pin at the top. And then once I sew one side, readjust the other top to match. That
yeah,
makes
I
sense.
didn't do that. I just focused on making sure the tops matched, but I
Okay.
didn't.
I mean,
Also, it's weird. I should have probably did some stay. I do this every time. I should have probably put some stay tape because this is a stretch poplin, and so it
oh,
kind of like probably did some funky thing. You see how it's bubbling? You see how the regular is nice. The other one is like bubbling
yeah.
around the zipper. I should have put some stay tape there so it would stabilize it. I may go back and do it, but that's neither here nor there. But what I was saying is that it probably pulled it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but
Attention.
if you give it a good press, that should also help it. Like you can
I,
press,
I tried. I'll try it again
yeah.
before I
Um,
take it apart. I'll fix it later. All right, let me get my front. Get my front.
this right needle. Ooh.
This is a stretch too, but this one should be fine. All right.
So if you are going to, especially install the zipper on a stretch, like either stretch woven or like a real knit, I would definitely add like little strips of like tricot interfacing or something along the zipper edge, just so that it will make it easier to install. So as you're folding back your seam allowances, it gives you a nice straight edge to install your zipper too.
Agreed. And it'll keep your fabric from ruffling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in my head, I was like, oh yeah, make sure you put some stay tape. And then I just, I
I
do it all the
mean,
time.
we
And I be like,
YOLO. Hindsight.
every time I'd be like, especially with the invisible zippers. Sorry.
Five. This is 3, 5. This is 4,
But
5.
this pattern is drafted very well. Everything matches up. Kudos, because I hate when pattern pieces don't match. When all the
I
pieces match, guys.
tried. I
Kudos
tried
to you, Veronica.
because y'all wasn't about to have out here cussing me out. And especially working with the education lab. So Doris, who is out of Steckborn in Switzerland, who does a lot of the educational videos on all different overlockers and sergers. She tried it first and also provided feedback. So I definitely want to thank you to the Bernina International team for all their feedback, as basically they were the testers of this pattern in its roughest of stages. But I definitely appreciate them. But even like so during BU, the vice president of education, she also made the shirt and wore it in a knit for some of the some of the days and stuff like that. So definitely, there are so many different iterations of this shirt available, and it really you're the maker once it's in your hands. So
Yeah, I love it. I love the promo video and all the different ways people did it and kind of brought it to life. It was really nice to see. Um, I can see somebody who's like into embroidery really going crazy with this too.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
I could also see this. I don't think anybody did it, but in like a dressier fabric, like a
So
nice satin, to make it more blouse.
yeah, that'd be cute.
Yeah, I think this is a very versatile shirt pattern. And it was perfect because I was literally about to make this shirt, but I was gonna do it all in a solid out of a Vogue pattern. It has the asymmetrical buttons, so the
Okay,
buttons.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, this is even better.
All right.
Been wanting to try that pattern.
So now we're all set up for our combo stitch. And now what I'm doing is putting my bottom on, right sides together. And still at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And making sure that your zipper is zipped up. You can go ahead and trim away your excess zipper too. But make sure it's zipped up. Ask me how I know. And we've all been there a time or two.
Yep.
And then you're going to press your seam allowance for your front down.
That's what I did. Okay. Perfect.
All right. So now you have the body of your shirt done. This bottom panel also works well for like if you have like honestly, you can use this as a memory shirt as well. So similar how you do your memory bears, if you have shirts from loved ones or different things like that, or fun trips, or even like wanting to reinvent t-shirts or something like that, there's so many different ways that you can use the shirt for. So now I'm going to install my sleeves. So the sleeves has two different notches. So there is the notch for the center, like this, the top notch right here. So right here, that is for your shoulder seam. And then there's another notch towards the back. And that kind of matches towards your back yoke seam. So where the back and the back yoke come together, there is a notch. And then there's also, of course, a notch for your top at your shoulder seam. Ciao. That's fine. As long as it's plugged in. Okay. Cool. So I have one of mine already kind of pinned in place. And again, just using my combo stitch, 3 or 1 centimeter seam allowance. We're going to sew this in place. And using my seam gauge, I literally lay my fabric right in here along this edge. And I'm able to just sew along. So, what is your live schedule this week?
I don't have any live schedule. I thought about doing like a whip Wednesday. And I was like, I really need to work on my Cowboy Carter shorts on Wednesday. So probably won't be live. Yeah.
Well, Well, my goal is hopefully to start coming live again more.
Yeah.
Um, like so for a little bit, Restream would not allow. Like I don't know why I lost the privilege to restream over on TikTok as well. And they allowed me to have it back for today. I don't know what I did.
Today.
Um, but yeah, so I think probably now that I'm able to kind of go back live on all my platforms, definitely might be doing some more lives coming up here just to keep me honest, keeps me sewing.
Yeah.
And also because now I can show this machine. Like it was so hard to not show my machine
Yeah.
as it was sitting in my like, hiding how you could sew. It just made it difficult for months. Like I've had this machine probably since January, February.
Wow.
Hmm.
You have had it for a while. Is it
So yeah.
just this month or last month?
What'd you say? Yeah.
I see, yeah,
So
because it just released like last month.
a few days ago. Shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah. So imagine all the ways that I've tried to hide how I had to sew, and everything was from the front. And I would say that I'm surging, but y'all would not see me surge, stuff like that. Now you know why.
Well, it was well worth the wait.
Okay, so I have my first sleeve in. We're going to do the second sleeve. So LC says, such a cute top over on TikTok.
Talking about my top?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. This is Simplicity 9784, I think. Very quick. You could do it in an hour. I did it on my serger. If you have a cover stitch combo, you can do the whole thing on there. All the hemming and all the things. Perfect project for a serger cover stitch machine.
And hopefully, my goal is to bring out more Serger related patterns. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have ideas of ones that you want, please let me know. Because back in the day, they used to have so many. They used to have like a whole like Surge line, especially back in the '80s when like Surgers and stuff like that gained in popularity. So
Yeah.
the same way that if I'm trying to figure out how I can bring back stretch and sew patterns. Like I want to buy the rights to bring them back.
Oh.
That would be an ultimate goal for me because they fit so well. And people still love them. And it's a good way to learn how to sew
Yeah.
with knits and make quality knit garments, not like some of the stuff we do today. What's great, this is why I love having the table because this table allows me to rest the rest of the shirt over top and not causing any type of drag or anything like that. So this is why I am a very big proponent of using your extension table all the time if you can. Don't be afraid to look at your how your stitches are looking through the back. Sometimes, you might need to adjust your tension or something like that, especially as you're going around a curve. But it's a pretty easy process to do. Now, my sleeves are done. I'm going to go ahead and do my side seams. Now, there are cutouts for like if you want to add side vents. I have decided for this one, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to serge it all the way up. LC said, I'm missing a digit. What is the pattern again?
I believe it's the Tootsie 9784. Let me see.
Yeah, she said she has 9, 7, and 4. So
9784. I did view C. I literally just did it this morning.
one side down. Let me do the other side.
All right, my other sleeve. Did we already close up the other side of our collar stand?
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
okay.
So what you do for yours is you go ahead and well you might want to wait since you're talking about opening it up anyway. So just keep it open. But would you for yours, what you can do is just press it in and understitch it or stitch in the ditch.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we already did it.
Yep. When I so right after the zipper is when I went ahead and closed it off. All right. So now I just closed up my side seams. Both zippers or both sleeves are in. I'll open this up. And here's my shirt.
Oh, nice. Oops, good.
So hold on, let me see if I can make this one bigger. So put y'all up, put y'all up on a pedestal for a second. As when I tell you my computer wants to be cat raggedy right now, it has been sitting on a charger this whole time and is at 5%. Ain't charged a lick. But luckily, oh now it is. Okay. Now it wants to be right in charge. Because that's what computers do. Hold on. And there's a dog or something behind my house that all I'm hearing is just going. So yeah, here we go. There we go. Serger Shirt in less than 2 hours.
Y'all better download the pattern. Now, if you're not using the serger, it might take you a little longer.
Or like if you decide to decorate the fronts and stuff like that, it can take a little bit more time and stuff like that. But the main body of the shirt and everything like that, it literally comes together quickly. And this is with changing the machine over from cover stitch. Remember, we used the one chain cover to start, then we changed over to combo, then we changed over to three thread cover. No, then we changed back over to one thread cover, then we changed over to three thread cover, then we changed back over to combo. So all within 2 hours. Now, that's without hemming. I think I will go ahead and hem it now. And probably go back to a three thread cover just to kind of keep it the three thread cover every place else on the shirt. So while you're still working, I will focus on hemming.
Okay, fantastic. I am attaching my second sleeve and I'm going to serge the seams and sew up the sides.
Okay.
I had, because I'm using like some stretch, some non-stretch, I had a little extra ease in my sleeve. So I had to do an ease stitch to get it in there.
Okay.
You know how because of the curve, they kind of get loosey goosey.
Well, normally, so like the way that but I am also using like everything would have the same amount of stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, like there might be I pin at the places that they're supposed to pin at and
Mm-hmm.
push it back as much as possible and it should still work, but because of the way that your fabrics might work it might be a bit different. So
Yeah.
so All right, but before I do this, there's something howling outside of my house. I need to go see what that is. I will be right back. Cause I'm like, what is howling like this? Give me a second.
Fret not, I'll entertain you all. So, is anybody sewing anything else this Sunday? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds being me. You like the zipper placement? It's super cute. Tiger, you can totally make this. You said you were going to get into wovens. I think this is a good project for you to jump into wovens. Only a few pieces. It's free. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, mine took a little bit more time. I did an invisible zipper, which for me is usually a little more time consuming. And then I'm also sewing and serging. Whereas with the combo machine, you can kind of do it all in one go. You can sew it and it'll already have a finish on it, which is great. Damn, and I keep on hitting these pins.
Because you know better. Right.
Ignore that part. Ignore the pin popping.
Because that was a good old pin pop. Everybody heard that.
The pin pop heard around the world. Yeah, I gotta do better. I go through so many pins, so many needles, because I just break and bend them all the time. I just can't get into clips though.
I mean, I'm not a clip person either, but what I do is I pin way into my fabric.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do that when I'm trying it with the Serger.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, don't do that.
Because I did slice a pin today earlier with the Serger. It was
Lord
going
Jesus.
a little fast for me, but it was one of those the glass head ones, the thin ones. So it
Okay.
just broke it. Like the knife broke it before it got to the needles. I was like, oh, thank
But you got to
goodness.
be careful because that sometimes nicks your knife, and
Yeah,
you might need to replace your knife.
listen,
Oh Lord,
not.
help us, Holy Ghost.
I was like, please don't get dull on me. Or like you said, stop eating the fabric. Okay, let me see this. That looks pretty good.
Before I start placing the hem in, I'm just gonna give this a
What's this?
quick little press. All right. Now for the hem, what I'm going to do is
All right. Surge it. I'm gonna mute myself so I don't get checked.
oh, well, my iron just decided to check me and tell me where's my water. So I'm gonna fill this up real fast. This to get me through the end of this. Now we'll add more water to it later. About time for me to do a full. Need to empty it out to drain it So I use the lower side iron, and that's something that you have to do routinely. I won't say regularly, but routinely to keep the iron working correctly. But one of those things when it works well, it works well. And I know that I iron probably sometimes as much or more than I sew. So making sure that my iron is able to provide the quality that I need is important to me. There we go. One last little press. One sleeve done. Okay. Then the other sleeve, and then we'll do the bottom real fast. So I'm just turning the sleeves inside out, and I'm kind of taking them up. You can take them up as much as you want. This time I'm doing about centimeter and a half, so 5/8 almost. And of course, because I'm using different layers of just a regular basic woven cotton, gives it a nice perfect mix. Mhm. Okay. And we're going to do the same with the bottom here. This up the bottom of an inch. This edge. Work our way. Okay. Ooh, well, that's more than an inch. All right. Not tired of saying she wants to make it. I need a free cover stitch surgery machine. Chad, I ain't giving away one right now, but there might be an opportunity. You never know. All right. So what I'm about to go ahead and do is I'm going to change this back over to my 3 thread cover. Hello, Jess Craft Therapy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't be going too quick. About to run over a pen or something. Look, I'm just trying to save your surgery. That's it.
Listen, he got jokes, guys.
I want to see you win. That's it. That's it. I want to see you.
He got jokes, guys.
So I put on the shorter version of my table because I'm actually not about to use my extension on this. So, of course, I dropped my computer in the process. Praise the Lord. But it's all right. There we go. Child. Y'all was hanging precariously anyway, so I need to shore y'all up. There we go. There we go. All right. So now, and we'll probably be using for the sleeves and everything like that, we're going to be using the free arm. So if you did not know, this machine also has a free arm, meaning that for things such as sleeves and different things like that, it makes it super, super simple to go ahead and be able to get around those tight curves to surge as well as for cover.
I'm gonna try this on actually. I've never tried it on.
Three-thread cover. How we looking?
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay, this is where I am so far.
Oh,
Y'all
that's
see
dope.
the y'all see it. That's
That's
cute.
real cute.
Okay, I'm a what do you say, an inch and a half on the sleeve? Is that what you said you're doing?
I'm doing like 5/8, so like an inch and like
Oh,
1.5 centimeters.
you
But
said
you can do it.
centimeters.
Yeah, but whatever works for you.
I wanna keep them kind of long, so I'll do size.
Okay, I'm just resetting my machine here.
This is my collar from Atlanta Frocktails from my shirt.
You
I
better
took,
be reusing pieces.
right? I kept it because I put the big collar on there.
Right?
Remember, we were talking about this one, the big.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched it out. So I kept the little one. And it done came in handy. All right. I am 5/8. I'm going to turn under 1/4 first.
This dog is she is losing it when I tell you she is pissed at me. She is sitting by the door. I can hear her.
The dog.
Yes. And she is cussing me all the way out.
She's like, you tripped.
Just wait for a few more minutes. She'll be all right for just a few more minutes.
Hey, Leangela. Oh, that's old.
Look, it's a thought. One is done. And here I am making sure I'm going ahead and doing the regular way that you lock a cover stitch. So Debbie, I have she is a Shih Tzu poodle mix. Her name is Coco.
Coco. Love that. Had a dog named Coco growing up.
And she was fine until I went out to see what was happening with that other dog. Now she don't know how to act.
Now she like, wait, you leaving again?
Like, where you been?
Right.
I should be the center of your world.
Exactly. What you doing in that room? Cooped up in there.
Right. And why ain't I in there? No, well, she just gonna come in here to beg for nothing because she don't want anything. I made sure she was taken care of. She was just asleep. close about there. So y'all, not only in less than 2.5 hours did y'all get a full shirt, but y'all got a full finished shirt, including hemming.
Ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh off the press. Now, y'all ain't gonna get all that from me. I'm hemming sleeves. But I still have to go back later and do my collar band and maybe work on my zip for a little bit. But still pretty quick. Either
So no,
way,
I have not made. So I bought clothes for Coco. I ain't making her nothing. I love her, but we ain't doing that.
I love her.
I love her, but yeah. Mm-mm. She has new adopted grandparents who are my next door neighbors, and they spoil her and buy her collars and such. So I will allow them to live vicariously and do all of that through my dog. Not Miss, not Dr. Hill been saying she would still been piecing the front of it. The piecing for the front of it ain't even that big. It's about this much.
2 pieces. What she mean? Like she gonna make a quilt or something?
Yeah, that's what she
Oh,
plans to do. But I mean, still, it ain't even that much to piece.
it's not that much a piece. I started to use my jelly roll because I'm like, I've been saying I'm gonna make something out of that.
That would.
That's our,
I have a jelly roll that I plan to make another one with. So
yeah, I saw everybody. I saw people in the video with the quilting. I was like, ooh, could use
mhm.
mine. All right, one
Honestly,
sleeve.
I have this beautiful piece of batik that I'm about to do a video about when I get off of here by uh, Amity Farm Batik. So they sent me a piece of their
Ooh,
batik,
that is nice.
and I need to figure out how to break this up to use for this and make a piece.
You know what might look good with that? It's gonna be a little busy, but the Minerva pants you made at the punty knit with all the snakes. I feel like the colors. It would be a lot, but I feel like the
It
colors.
would. It would be a lot. So I was thinking with this like black and doing all the top pieces in that fabric and then doing black at the bottom.
Yeah, I meant to like style it
Oh.
where
Oh. Okay.
it might be a lot. You have to see. But when I saw that, I thought, ooh, that would look good with your because the snake pants almost look like camo. It's so camouflage, and camo can go with
Right.
everything. It might be too much. Okay, I need to put it back on.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's put it back on so that we can take some pictures.
All right, let me trim my threads. I'm gonna go over here. Just hit my hand real quick. And so, for reference, guys, I made the medium. I think Julian did too, actually.
Yep, mine's a medium as well.
And my bust is like around a 38 usually.
So the finished so if you look at the actual pattern, the actual pattern has the sizing guide. So this pattern is my launch into indie patterns. So this is the pattern that was launched with the B68 maker. It's available for free on bernette.com. I designed it. And Veronica Cole Studio, B Cole Studio did the editing for the digital thing. Come on now. That's cute.
Yay.
That is cute.
Thank
All right.
you.
Can somebody take our pics? Yeah. Yeah, let me.
Sit up a little bit.
Who's gonna take our picture?
Who's gonna volunteer?
Or I guess I have my iPad here. I can do it too. Okay. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Hold on. Give it a second because we on delay. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We'll get it.
Make
We'll
sure
get
you
it.
guys see the back of mine because I did do some color blocking in the back. So I put the polka dots and the yoke and the stripes in the back.
Oh, thank you so much for getting it as well. Because Lord knows we were struggling. But so this will be saved on my YouTube. So definitely for anyone who is interested in checking out the pattern will be available in the description below. Um, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm Julian Crease on all platforms. I do answer DMs and emails and all that good stuff. And I hope you enjoy this pattern. If you have any questions around the Bernette B68 maker, please let me know. I would love to answer more questions about the machine and all that good stuff as well. Thank you so much, Shamir, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this
I love it.
process. Thank you. Thank you.
I
I'm
am
glad
for
to
you.
see it done other ways. I can't wait for, I want to see this styled because that's going to be
The
cute style.
skirt is gonna be dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, until next time, thank you all so much for joining us. But we about to sign out. Hopefully you have a great Sunday. Remember, you are a maker, meaning not just a maker of creative things in that you can put on your body or something like that, but also you are a maker of what you want to see in the world, especially now more than ever. Make the changes that you want to see. Make the spaces that you want to be in. Make the happiness that you want to see other people have, not just yourself. It's time for us to make what we need. Okay? So, until next time, y'all, talk to y'all later and be creative.
Bye.